Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We want you to know that you are in the right place at the right time, and your soul is welcome here. Isn't that right, Laree?
That's right. Good morning, everybody. Your soul is welcome here, and you are in the right place at the right time. And we're going to sing about it. Are you ready? I can feel the energy is good today. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be in my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah, is welcome here. Hey, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul, oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message. Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Come on, guys, wake up. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. And my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome here. Ooh, yeah. It's welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Whoa. Yeah. That's right.
Well, good morning, Reverend Deborah. Good to see you again this morning. And yes, your soul as well as all our souls are welcome here.
And good morning, Reverend James, and it's great to see you back. And we greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is holy and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, stone circles, and of course, the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, either watching us online or here in person, we especially want to welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. Every one of us is here by
Divine appointment.
And we're so excited and happy to get together each week, and that joy extends to silencing your electronic devices. And please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Now that we created that opening to connect with this presence, let's commune with it, knowing that it is always there for us. It is that wind beneath our wings. And as we come under its governance and its guidance, it'll direct us from where we are to where we can be when we are being our highest and our best selves. It contains all the qualities of the presence of God that we are. First and foremost, a love that is beyond measure, a peace that passes all understanding, and includes the health, the wholeness, the vitality, the vigor, the creativity, the zeal, and all the things that are good and perfect. They come from this one source, and because we are also an expression of this source, we have them within us as well. And our task is simply to bring them out and to remind one another of these qualities in all that we think, all that we say, and all that we do, so that we anchor this ever-expanding good of God in our life and ultimately in our world. Because we indeed are the world. It's simply a reflection of what's going on within us. And if we want to see something different, we start with ourselves and see it ripple out to the rest of all that we see. It is already done in the mind of God. The right and perfect spiritual ideas are waiting for us simply to raise ourselves to be one with it, and we see seeming miracles happen. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center that's reflected in our mission statement. Let us affirm this together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission by embodying and living to the best of our ability these 5 universal principles in our lives and all that we do. Again, let's say them together and embody them in our entire being. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. We must take action.
And of course, every Wednesday night we take action. And this week we have Reverend Penelope Clement, and she is going to be talking about how, she's calling it how my art created me. She's going to talk about how her art created her. You know, she does all of these wonderful cards and all of this wonderful artwork, and she came to it a little bit later in life. And so she's going to talk to us about how she transforms art, but how when she does that, the artwork transforms her. I think it's going to be a very interesting evening. So join us. The community meal is at 6, and the program starts at 7.
All righty. And we're inviting you to come to the cabaret. The Hot August Nights Cabaret. Is that what we're calling Hot August Nights Cabaret?
We are.
It's going to take place on Friday, August 11th. And we're going to have a reception, social hour at 6 o'clock. The cabaret is going to be between 7 and 9 p.m. right here at Spiritual Life Center. It's going to be a mighty good time, so just show up. It's going to be an amazing night of talent and presence. So we look forward to everyone being there, and we just kind of connect with one another that evening. So it's going to be good.
It is. It's going to be really exciting. And we have exciting something that happens in October. Now, we start in August preparing for Faith in Action because we need home hosts and facilitators. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Faith in Action, it is a yearly book study that we do for the whole community. And so we choose a book, and then we have people sign up to host small groups in their homes. We have a talk on Sunday that relates to the topic for that week. And then we just have a great time, for 7 weeks talking about this book, and it's always very successful. And so starting next week, if you would like to be a home host and facilitator, or a home host or a facilitator, you don't have to do both. We'll help you find a facilitator. You can sign up for that, and you'll be able to sign up online or at the hub, and that starts next week. The book is called Going with the Flow by The Flow of Life. Going with the Flow of Life by Eric Butterworth, and that is available at the hub, and of course you can always buy it online as well. But we're really looking forward to, I think this is going to be the second year that we've been able to do Faith in Action in person again, and so we'd love to have a lot of small groups. So if you're interested in facilitating or home hosting one, and you can also talk to me and get more information about it if you haven't done it before. But we're always very excited about it.
And of course, one of the reasons that folks come to a Faith in Action group or come to a cabaret or come on Sunday or Wednesday is to connect with another person in the community of like mind. But you don't have to wait for an event to happen. You can connect with someone right here, right now. So I'd invite you to turn to a friend or a neighbor in a manner that feels comfortable for you and greet them and just say, "You are marvelous and glad you are here."
All right, are you ready to wake up your mind?
I think so. You guys ready to wake up? Wake up your mind. Hey, yeah. Here we go. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. And in this power I'm set free. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. And in this power I'm set free. Oh, life can be good. Oh, life can be sweet. Oh, life can be good. And it's all up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. And in this power I'm set free. And oh, life can be good. And oh, life can be sweet. Oh, life can be good. And it's all up to me. Oh, life can be good. Life can be good. Oh, life can be sweet. Life can be sweet. Oh, life can be good. And it's all up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to me. I'm waking up to the power of my mind. And in this power I'm set free. I'm set free. And in this power I'm set free. I'm set free. Yeah. And in this power I'm set free. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. I think I'm awake now.
Are we awake? No, I don't hear anybody. Oh. And- All right, let's take a nice deep breath together. Let's settle in for the contemplative portion of our service and we will prepare for our meditation by speaking out loud together a vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And then we're going to sing this beautiful chant by Ricky Byers. All good, all good.
Join me in singing.
All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy, all love, and all love, holy, holy, all love, holy, holy, and all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy, and we're all one, and all one. Holy, holy, all one, holy, holy, all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy, and all God, holy, holy, all God, holy, holy, and all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy. Let's go back to good, because it's good. And all good, holy, holy, all good, all good, holy, holy, and all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy, and all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy,
All is good. Holy, holy. All is good. Does your mind wish to fill in the words, holy, holy? Mine did. Give yourself permission to mindfully choose which thoughts repeat in your mind and let go of the ones that do not serve you. All is good. Get comfortable in a way that suits you and close your eyes. Gently shift from thought to mindful awareness and simply become aware of your breathing. Breathing in, aware of the in-breath. Breathing out, aware of the out-breath. In-breath and out-breath. If any thoughts arise, just notice them and let them drop to the ground like fruit from a tree and return to your breathing. In-breath, out-breath. It's okay. It's okay to have mindful thoughts during this meditation. It's as if you are under a mango tree and you shake it. When the fruit falls down, do you pick up the rotten mangoes or the good ones? We have a choice. These ones that don't have our best interest in mind, we can let them go. But these ones, the good ones, they bring well-being, connectedness, health. We can pick them up. Breathing in, aware of the in-breath. Breathing out, aware of the out-breath. Maybe you don't care for mangoes. Maybe you do. You can choose to use your imagination to pick any fruit tree. Just notice when you shake it as the fruit drops. You ignore the bad fruit and focus on the good fruit. Why pick up rotten fruit? It stains the hands and lingers. It festers as negative thinking does. Allow these to plop to the ground. You can choose the good fruit, the thoughts that raise your vibration, that encourage well-being, thoughts that are nourishing and feed the soul, thoughts that make you smile. It's time to gather some of that good fruit. I am enough. I am one with and now fully flourish in divine life. Every beat of my heart radiates the harmonizing power of divine love. I am willing to be a presence of divine love in all my relationships. Choose which thoughts, these or your own, that feed your soul in the silence. Slowly return your awareness to the present. Feel yourself in your body. take in a deep cleansing breath and let this one out with maybe a yummy sound like, yes. You just had nourishment. Always remember, you have choice to allow which thoughts repeat in your consciousness and which ones you can release. The power of choice is yours. I choose the good mangoes. I leave you with one final thought, and this is from the heart. Make it a great day, or not. The choice is yours.
Spirit flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Every hand I shake, every embrace, every thought I think, oh yeah, flow through me. Every word I say, every night and day, I wanna be an expression of your unfolding love. Every decision, through the confusion, flow through me, Father God. I open up to let your Spirit lead the way, 'cause I know that as I believe, so it will be. When I wake up in the morning, when I put on my clothes, yes, and as I go about my day, let me touch somebody, let me love somebody, let me help somebody, flow through me, flow through me.
Please give a warm SLC welcome to William Menenfield with Soul Light Connection.
And thank you, Paula, for bringing William here this morning to bless us with his presence. Spirit flow through me. You know, it was way last week because I was at kind of my spiritual mentor, spiritual father's celebration of life service. And I was remembering the very first time that I actually went to a spiritual community after not being in one for most of my adult life. I probably was in a state of surrender. Didn't really want to go, but a friend was bugging me, and I said, I'll go this one time if you don't bother me anymore about this stuff. And of course, I was in that state of surrender, and Spirit flowed through me that day, and it created a whole new trajectory in my life. And I remember recently, or a few years ago, I was at a workshop, and the workshop was about folks and organizations who have a message that they want to share with the world. And they were sharing with us that were there, how to use the technology of the day to get whatever your message is out to the world. And I remember I was staying at a local hotel, and I got up that morning after being there for a day, and I went to go look for a shirt that I wanted to wear that day. And I looked and looked and looked, and my shirt was gone. And I liked that shirt. I loved that shirt. It was a T-shirt, but I had a sentimental attachment to it. So I looked for it. I looked on the other spare bed that was next to where I was sleeping and where I know I left it the day before. I searched throughout the room and looked in the closet, and I looked in the bathroom and went again through my suitcase for the 10th time, and I even looked under the bed, thinking, well, maybe it got under there, and the shirt was nowhere to be found. And I started thinking, and I asked myself, why would the cleaning person throw my shirt away? Because I was convinced that that person had cleaned the room and just threw my shirt away, and I was, to say the least, I was disturbed. And once I finally accepted that the shirt was gone, it was never to come back again, I decided to look maybe one last time in the dresser drawers, and I knew it wasn't there because I never use those things whenever I go on the road, and because I keep everything in the suitcase. So then I opened up the drawer, and bam, there it was. I forgot I put it there the day before. And as I think about that particular experience, I'm reminded how often, and maybe speaking for myself, I can't speak for you, but I think many of us sometimes think thoughts that have nothing to do with what is real. It reminds me how important it is to stop, how important it is to ask, maybe throughout the day, what and whose thoughts am I thinking? Where did they come from? Is it really true? Or am I just making this stuff up because I've been to the school of MSU, making stuff up? We do that. We've probably all heard the statement, you are what you think. But my mentors told me, well, that's not accurate. And he told me that you are thinking what you think. And he told me that, you're not your mind, that you have a mind. And that part of you that has a mind can control the thoughts that pass through the mind. Now, that's easy to say. But thought control is not easy. But it can be done, and when it's done, thought control is a creative process, an endeavor that can lead to new possibilities rather than just being a reaction. When I went out of town, I have someone that comes that cleans up, because when I don't, the housekeeper, a cleaning person. And I forgot that I was going to be gone. I didn't let her know, and she sent somebody by, and she called me up, and she was upset, and it was giving me the third degree, and I almost got caught up in the undertow myself with my own reaction, but eventually I didn't. I gave her a solution to what would work for everybody, and she kind of, tamped down and so forth, because I did come up with a responsive, creative solution to it, so everybody was happy. But it's just a reminder that we can think what we want to think. But often to do that, we have to stop letting maybe other people or even circumstances do the thinking for us. We don't no longer want to let the past experience determine our present thinking, or what our parents may have told us, what our grandparents would have told us, an aunt and uncle who told me, this is the way it should be. Oh, definitely don't go and check out social media to influence what you're thinking is going to be. You'll be all messed up. Or maybe that family member that gets on your last nerve, and you're letting them dictate how you're going to feel and how you're going to think. So whether we know it or not, whether we accept it or not, as Paul was talking about in that meditation, we always have a choice. You know, sometimes we may have witnessed a person who will say, well, you know, when so-and-so comes into my presence, oh, I get so disturbed. I get so upset. I don't think I can even stand them in my presence for too long. But the truth of the matter is, the reason that we're disturbed, as one of my teachers told me, is that, James, you're disturbable. The reason that you're upset is that you're upsettable. But we can choose whether we react and let people or conditions determine how we think, or we can choose to think the kind of thoughts we really want to see manifest in our life. And I believe to make such a choice, you have to ask over and over again, what am I thinking? I mean, for real, what am I thinking? I remember one of my first 10-day silent retreat. And this is early in my path. And heck, I don't think I've been silent more than an hour. And I went on this silent retreat. And the first couple of days I was on that retreat, because you do everything in silence. You know, you go to the programs and you're in silence. You eat in silence. They give you chores. You clean up in silence. And they give you a break maybe every once in a while when you talk to one of the counselors there. But the first couple of days, it's pretty much all silence. And I was realizing how many negative thoughts were going through my mind. Disturbing thoughts. I was thinking about, well, what so-and-so said to me in the 7th grade and what I should have said to them back during that time, you know? And I'm thinking that, man, I should have given them a piece of my mind. And I realize now, if you give someone a piece of your mind too often, eventually you have no mind left. And I'm thinking all these thoughts that's coming through my mind, are some of these negative things happening in the world going to start happening to me? Oh, I've been learning about the power of my thinking and how it can be creative. But the last few weeks, I've been rehashing in my mind all the crazy things that are happening in the world, all the disastrous events that are happening to folks. Does that mean some things are going to happen to my life? Oh, my God, what's going to happen? And as I look back on that experience, I'm somewhat stunned what I was thinking. I'm glad that no one could read my mind, because I've just shared a very small portion of the things I was thinking. Some things are just not suitable for a public arena. But we need to be aware of what we're thinking about. And of course, after the first couple of days, your mind begins to calm down. And I was able to see, my thoughts for what they were. I have thoughts, but I am not the thoughts. We get to choose where we focus our attention and where we direct our thinking. I think one of the secrets of thought control is at least once a day practice some sort of meditation or centering practice, because this helps us disengage our mind so that we become established at the center of our being and become the masters of our life. Then once we've carefully established the center of our spiritual gravity, then we're ready to deal creatively with anything that happens around us or seemingly happens to us. Sometimes we're talking about all, talk about all things we may have read or heard about in the news, and all that may come from maybe we're on a job, or there's a temperament of a colleague or a friend that we think are causing us to react in a way that goes against every spiritual principle that we know in our heart is true. But we remember that we do always have a choice. The surface mind, the logical mind, the rough around the edges part of us will say, of course you're upset, of course you're bitter. I mean, look at all the stuff, and you may not say stuff, but look at all the stuff that you have to deal with. But when we do that, we're giving our power away. It's our mind. And we never want to forget that. I believe when we are established at the center of our being, we've got that centeredness, we can control what goes on in our mind. You know, before coming back from California, I was part of a group of people that was kind of a mastermind group. But anyway, I was on the plane, and I was rewatching a movie that I had watched before called Just Mercy. And it had come out, I think it came out about 3 years ago or so. It was about a young lawyer. He was helping people who were unjustly and unfairly convicted, and they were all put on death row. This is the people that he helped. It was an excellent movie. It's my flick of the week of all previously released movies. Anyway, there's a scene. And the client of one of these lawyers is one, and also one of the main characters who was also unjustly convicted, and he was also being put on death row. But he was seeking to comfort another incarcerated prisoner that was in the cell right next to him. And that other prisoner was a former soldier. He had fought, I believe, in the Vietnam War, and he was a bomb specialist, and he was suffering from PTSD and all kinds of mental illnesses that were never diagnosed. And while he was in that state, he didn't know what he was doing, and somehow he placed a bomb that caused the death of an innocent person that he didn't want to do. He wasn't trying to do that. But all of the diagnoses that he had, it was never presented in court as what they call mitigating circumstances that may have avoided him being put to death, or put on death row, I should say. And anyway, in this particular scene, he was set to be executed the very next day. And all the so-called demons within his mind began to surface, and he was ridden with guilt. He was ridden with anxiety. He was having a psychological breakdown because he was anticipating what was to come. And so the other character, played by Jamie Foxx, who had befriended him, tried to comfort him, tried to calm his mind, bring him back to center so this thinking process will somehow stop attacking him. And so right now, if we can we play that scene?
Girl, you all right over there? Now listen here, you're gonna have to get your mind off tomorrow. Brian is working on that as we speak. Now you know how these courses is, they wait till the last minute, but you gonna get that stay.
Why did I make that bomb?
Don't go there now.
Why'd I do that? I wasn't trying to hurt nobody.
Everybody know.
Why am I so stupid?
No, you ain't stupid. That war got you sick and you still sick.
Girl was supposed to come by and pick it up.
Listen.
She was.
I want you to.
Supposed to come by.
This is what we gonna do, girl. We gonna slow your mind down. Remember what we practice now? What we do? Deep breaths.
Yeah.
Come on, do that with me now. Deep breaths.
Yeah.
In and out. There we are. Now close your eyes. Get away from all this. No more walls. No more guards. No more walls to fight. Just you out in the open. Fresh air on your face. Look at them pine trees. They've been growing since before we was born. And they gonna keep growing even after we gone. But they still dancing in the breeze. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Good. Now I want you to think about nothing else. Just keep your mind on that. Everything gonna be all right.
See, yes. You know, the point is that he guided him through a visualization to help redirect his thoughts, to get his mind centered. And in the end, he simply says to him, everything's going to be all right. It's interesting, I saw that movie before. I didn't really notice that scene, but it's amazing what you see when you get ready to have to prepare a talk. But I think it was a master example of thought control. He reminded us that when we are established at the center of our being, we can control what goes on in our mind. So we can see what's going on maybe in the world, all the stuff that's happening. We can hear all the woe is me conversations that are happening around us. And at that same time, we can decide what the content of our thoughts will be and the control that we can have over our life. Of course, the controlled mind is not a mind that never has a negative thought. I think that's an impossibility. I think I've also shared, sometimes I wake up in the morning and say, today, I'm not going to have one single negative thought. And then I say to myself, oh, I could never do that. I've already thought negative before I even walk out the door. So it doesn't mean you don't have negative thoughts. Even Jesus had negative thoughts. You know, in his wilderness experience, when he was encountered Satan, and Satan is not a guy, but it's that unspiritualized ego within us. But anyway, this demon within him tried 3 times to lure him to use his powers for selfish means. But he realized there was no demon or entity outside of himself. It was the influence of his own human consciousness. But he quickly disidentified from the so-called evil force when he said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." He was saying, "Get behind me, crazy thought." That's what it meant. And so to get behind me, also my interpretation is that rather than be against me, get behind me, push me forward, help me go up. You know, someone once said that, you know, you and I may not be able to stop the birds from flying over our heads, but we can stop them from nesting in our hair, if you have hair. So you may not always be able to keep negative thoughts out of your mind, but you and I can determine that only we can determine where they go and whether or not they have control over us. You know, as I close out today, as I'm thinking about this talk, as I was thinking about this talk, this thought popped into my mind. Something that we all know about, a cliche, is that you can change your life by altering your thoughts. But this principle is not just limited to our individual lives. So it came to me that we are not here, any of us here, to simply casually observe the unfoldment of history. You and I are here to consciously participate in its revelation. So thinking, once again, we have to ask, how do we do this? Well, it starts with the understanding that every aspect of our life, every aspect of our organizations, every aspect of our world are created by strategic thoughts and conversations. All those strategic thoughts and conversations that are going on are helping reframe and rework our world. In other words, everything around us is transformed by the cutting ideas and thoughts that we're in conversation about on a daily basis. This revelation that our world is reformed and transformed by the ideas means that the strategic thoughts and conversations that we are engaged in are remaking our world, remaking our life, and we can become history makers in our own life and in the planet on which we live. So we want to have the thought control that we have the thoughts of Jesus, that we have the thoughts of Buddha, we have the thoughts of Sri Aurobindo or Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela or the Dalai Lama or any avatar or any individual who's living from that God-inspired idea. We want those highly inspired thoughts that come from the realm of God that deals with love, that deals with compassion, that deals with giving, that deals with healing, that deals with spiritual transformation. We want to be empowered by the whole Spirit of the living God, also known as the Holy Spirit. We want to think from that realm and be inspired by that. There's a statement that says, "Fear not, little flock, it is God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom." But the question is this: will we be gracious enough to accept it? Will we be gracious enough to think the thoughts of God? If we do, all, not some, but all our needs will be met. And we may call them miracles. We may call it the grace of God. It's simply God being God as us. So we take that breath. If you don't mind, just simply repeat after me. I am divinely supported. I feel it in my bones. All is well now. I feel it in my bones. Everything is working together for my good. I feel it in my bones. I'm in league with the harmony and prosperity of life. It's okay to be wealthy. It's okay to be healthy. It's okay to be happy. As a matter of truth, it's a mandate from God. Let us think on these things. Peace and blessings to you. Well, we're going to go a little deeper next week. As I start, we're going to start a little series called Manifesting Anything. We'll talk about the power of our subconscious mind, because that is such a powerful part of really being the cause of all that we experience in our life. So next week, we're going to talk about part 1, knowing that subconscious mind. And if you have a prayer need today, we have chaplains. I know we have at least one chaplain, Rose. I don't know if there's any others, but yes, we have another chaplain there. They're wearing the white stoles, so if you have a need for prayer support, for a challenge that you may be going through or growing through, or you just want to have prayer to elevate and leverage some joy in your life, they're available to pray with you right after the service in the courtyard. And for those who are online that you want to connect with Spiritual Life Center as a newcomer, just fill out one of the online cards. And that's also true for anyone here today. So if there's anyone here for the very first time, any first-timers here this morning, I'll leave your hand up nice and high. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to give you a card that if you'd like to fill out just to be aware of what's going on at Spiritual Life Center. Also a purple ribbon. If you want to wear that, you'll get that special Spiritual Life Center greeting from one of our friends or members of our community. And we thank you for being here. We behold the magnificence that you are, and we see you doing great things in our world, and we're here to support you, and we appreciate your presence. At this time, for those who are online that would like to support Spiritual Life Center with your gift or your offering, you can do that in a couple ways. You can text us at SLC Love at 44321. Just put in 44321. It'll take you to and then click SLC Love, and it'll tell you ways that you can give, by PayPal or a credit card, or I think those are the two primary ways. Or you can go to our website, slcworld.org. Click the Donate tab and give in other ways, including by mail. And we appreciate your support, and we're seeking to spread this consciousness to as many people as possible. Because what we're seeking to do really is to change consciousness on the very planet in which we live. So you can also, if you're watching us on one of the platforms, YouTube or Facebook, you can like us, comment, share with someone else, because the more you do that, the more people hear about us. At this time, for those who would like to give this morning, we invite you to take your gift or your love offering and just, symbolically raise it to the heavens and put your prayer energy around it, knowing that we're in a flow of a principle that says what we give out does come back. And so those who are giving today, we affirm that truth. If you've already given by mail or electronically, know that this principle that can never be changed is that you can never outgive the presence and the power and the love of God. And, when we give out, we're actually giving something to ourselves in some way, shape, or form. So with that awareness, let's affirm our offertory blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Morning, Mr. Radio. Morning, little Cheerio. Morning, Sister Oreo. Did I tell you that everything is just fine here in my mind? Morning, Mr. Shoeshine Man, shining bright in white and tan. I know that God loves me, and I will tell you that everything is just fine here in my mind. Excuse me if I sing, my heart has found its wings, searching high and low, and now at last I know. Morning, Mr. Golden Date. I should walk, but I can't wait. I can't wait to set it straight. I was shaking, but now I'm making it fine here in my mind. My heart will soar with love that's rare and real. My smiling face will hear every star. Then higher still, beyond the blue, until I know I can, like any man, reach out my hand and touch the face of God. Excuse me if I sing, my heart has found its wings, searching high and low, and now at last I know. Morning, Mr. Radio. Morning, little Cheerio. Wake up, Sister Oreo. Fine here in my mind. Won't you say that morning, Sister Oreo? Won't you get up of the Rio? Wake up with the radio. In
William Menfield.
Thank you, William. Thank you, Laree. Thank you. A soul-like connection. Thank everyone for being here today. Just wouldn't be the same without you. Well, we take this time to bless those who have blessed us with their gifts and offerings, whether in person or online, knowing that we're here to fulfill a purpose. And that's simply to let God be God in us. No matter what we may be doing, no matter where we may be in our stage in life, there's always something that we can do to spread the love, the peace, the joy, the wisdom, and the possibilities of the human spirit. We bless those who have left their prayers in the prayer box, recognizing that all of us have challenges in our life from time to time. And those moments arrive that we can lean on a presence that's bigger than ourselves and rest assured that there's a divine and perfect answer awaiting us. We know this, we feel this, we give our faith energy to this. There's a statement that says that before they call, I've already answered you. It's reminding us that no matter what we think our prayer need is, there's an answer before we even know what the prayer that we should utter is expressed. For spirit only knows divine and perfect spiritual ideas and creative outcomes. And when we make that the activity of our awareness in every element of our being, we begin to see it. We begin to understand that no matter what we're going through or growing through, that every experience is an opportunity to learn from it or to enjoy it or grow from it. For God loves us too much to leave us alone. So let us take a moment now to feel and sense that those divine answers are here for each and every one of us, for those who have left those prayers today or throughout the week. For with God, all things indeed are possible. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, at this moment, let us together affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. I am. And all is well. And that indeed is the truth. Let's sing our peace song. Have a great weekend, or stick around for some post-service music, some Bill Withers.
Yeah, I've heard that.